Math! Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Regener and this is the Aftermath. Today on the Aftermath, our focus is focus. And specifically today, we are focused on week 20. So feel free to follow along as we go over it together. Let's get started with number 1. Number 1 says, you are comparing the costs of buying bottles of water at the supermarket. Which of the following has the least cost per liter? So in order to answer this question, I need to first figure out how many liters I'm talking about here for A, B, C, and D. And I do that by just doing a simple calculation. That would be the number of bottles times the number of liters. So for this first one, letter A is 7 times 1, which of course is 7 liters. For letter B, I have one 2-liter bottle. That's one bottle times 2 liters, which is 2 liters. And then for letter C, I have 10 1/2 liter bottles. That's 10 times 1/2. Or I can almost think of that as 10 over 1 times 1 over 2, which is going to calculate into 5 liters. And then for letter D, I have 14 1/2 bottles, 1/2 liter bottles. So again, 14 over 1 times 1 over 2, that's going to be 7 liters. So now that I know how many liters I have, I'm going to just simply take the cost divided by the liters. And I'm hoping that my pen today is showing up in the video. I've opted to use a different color and maybe that was not the best choice. Maybe I'll switch that up here soon. So I'll go ahead and with letter A here, I have to do the cost divided by the number of liters. So that's $1.82 divided by 7 liters. So 7 goes into 18, 2 times 7 is 14. I subtract, I get 4. I bring down my 2, I have 42. 7 goes into 42 6 times, which is 42, and I get 0. So for letter A, I'm just going to write this maybe below here. It costs 26 cents per liter. Okay, now I'll do the same thing for letter B. I'm going to take the total cost, which is, 52 cents, divided by the number of liters, which is 2. 2 goes into 5 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. I subtract and get 1. Bring down my 2. That's 12. And 6 times 2 is 12. I subtract and get 0. So this one is 26 cents per liter. Let me do the same thing now for letter C. So I take my overall price, $1.35, divided by the number of liters, which is 5. 5 goes into 13 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, I get 3. Bring down my 5. 5 goes into 35. What would be... Oh, I just had a malfunction there for a moment. 7 times 5 is 35. Yikes. All right, so that's 27 cents per liter. And then we'll do the same thing for letter D. So I have 14 1/2 liter bottles at $1.68. So let's see, that's divided by 7 liters. 7 goes into 16 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. That leaves me with 2. Bring down the 8. 7 goes into 28 4 times. That's 24. So I have 24 cents per liter. And then as I look at this, the cheapest one is obviously going to be 24 cents per liter. So my option D is correct. Let's go ahead and take a look now at number 2. Now number 2, we're doing the exact same type of math. We're going to take the total number of cost and divide it by the number of towels. So 7 towels and it's $36.47. So I'm going to take $36.47 divided by 7. So I'm trying to figure out how much each towel costs. 7 goes into 36 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. I subtract, I get 1. I bring down my 4. 7 goes into 14 2 times. 2 times 7 is 14. I subtract, I get 0. I bring down my 7. 7 goes into 7 1 time. So my answer here is that it's $5.21 per towel. So for each individual towel, it's going to cost $5.21. All right, so there's our work for number 2. Again, the comparison between numbers 1 and 2 is uncanny. In each case, we're just taking our total price, dividing it by our total number of units, whether that's liters or towels. Let's go ahead now and move on to number 3. Number 3 says, at a used bookstore, 2 types of books can be purchased. The expression 8h plus 5p can be used to find the total cost for H, hardcover books, and P, paperback books. What is the total cost in dollars for 9 paperback books and 4 hardcover books? Well, let's take a look at it. First, I have this expression 8h plus 5p, and I'm pulling it right from the problem. That expression tells me the cost for the books. And so I have 9 paperback books and 4 hardcover books. So that means that my P, which represents paperback books, is going to be equal to 8 to 9. And then my H, which is representing hardcover books, is going to equal 4. It bothers me that I wrote that as an 8. I don't know what I was thinking. So let me go ahead and plug in now my numbers instead of the variables. So I have 8 times H, which is actually 4, plus 5 times P, which is actually 9. Now I just do order of operations. So I'm going to multiply first. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 5 times 9. Now I can do 5 times 9. That's 45. So I have 32 plus 45. Now I can add them. So I'm just doing order of operations, PEMDAS, easy peasy, right? So 32 plus 45, if you're not sure, you can always break it off to the side. I'm going to just do it here quickly. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then 4 plus 3 is 7. So this is $77 for the books. That's how much it costs. And I just used the exact expression they gave me. I plugged in the exact numbers that they gave me. I just had to use PEMDAS to come up with my answer, and I label it with the $sign. All right, now let's move on to number 4. Before we get there, I just want to remind everybody that number 4 is always going to be multiple answer, which means there's more than one correct answer. So if you only find one answer, keep looking because there's always going to be more than one. Let's get to it. All right, this says which expressions are equivalent to 9b plus 6a plus 3b plus 2c minus b. In order to answer this question, we have to remember that we're combining like terms. So like terms are any terms that have identical variable parts. So the same variable means that it's a like term. So I'm going to underline all of my A terms. Oh, there, I'm done. I'm going to double underline all of my B terms. So I have 9b, I have 3b, and I have minus b. I'm going to triple underline all of my C terms. There we go. So I can now combine all of my like terms. Let me combine all of my A's. Oh, there's only one, 6a. Let me combine all of my B's. So I have 9b plus 3b, that would give me 12b, minus b, that gives me 11b. Let me now combine all of my C's. Ooh, I'm going to combine all of them now. That's 2c. There's only one of them. Now I can look over here and see if any of these match up to this. So letter A says 6a plus 11b plus 2c. Well, by golly, that's exactly what I found. So I know A is right. Letter B says 9a. Well, there's no way that could be 9a. There was only one A there, one A term, and that's 6a. So right away, I know it can't be 9a. I can verify also it can't be 9b, but it could be 2c, but any of these that are wrong, it's not going to work. Letter C says 15a. I know off the bat that's wrong. It's got to be 6a. Letter D says 12b plus 2c plus 6a. Well, it does have 6a, okay? It does have 2c, then it has 12b minus b. Well, 12b minus b would be 11b, which is exactly what I have here. So D works out. And then letter E says 12b plus 6a plus c. Yeah, that's not quite what I have either. Does not work out. So my answers here are A and D. All right, that's our focus review for this week. Overall, 4 questions that I think you're quite capable of answering. Remember, with numbers 1 and 2, you're doing the same type of math, finding the unit rate by taking the total price divided by the total number of units, whether it's liters or towels. For number 3, you're just using an expression and plugging in the numbers that they give you and then using PEMDAS. And finally, on number 4, we're just simplifying by combining like terms and finding all of the equivalent expressions within that problem. I'm Mr. Regener. This has been The Aftermath.
Math! Aftermath, it's the aftermath. Aftermath, it's the aftermath. Math class is fun, but when it's done, stay in the zone. On your own, it's math review, made just for you. take a video wherever you go. Aftermath, it's the aftermath. Aftermath, it's the aftermath. Oh yeah.